I'm Kelly,
And I'm Tiffany.
and we are your revenue insiders. And today we have the wonderful Jacki. Jacki, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. How exciting.
This is going to
We
be
are,
so much fun.
this is fun. Jacki is fiery, and I love it. She's got lots of hot takes, so this will be a hot take episode. I met Jacki when I was starting consulting. Multiple people recommended I talk to Jacki because she has started her own business and is killing it. She is founder of Activate the Magic, a fractional RevOps agency for early stage startups. She is fabulous to follow on LinkedIn. I would definitely give her a follow if you want to hear all the amazing things happening in RevOps and some spicy takes on how she's thinking about it. She's always reacting to recent articles, which I love. You, in your intro that you gave me, Jacki, you said you uncovered a hard truth. What is that hard truth, Jacki?
That for RevOps peeps, our job security and like happiness and feeling like we're good at our job has very little to do with our actual skill or even business acumen. It really, and here's the thing, up until now, we've been serving at the pleasure of the CRO. Well, as of January, the CRO is now the shortest tenured C-suite exec. They are now beating out the CMO. So it's an 18-month tenure. So they can't even keep their own jobs. How are they supposed to give us job security, right? So here's my plan. Buddy, like actually being an ally of the CFO, of the finance department, and selling the value of RevOps in a way that we're pitching initiatives and showing ROI in a way that is just undeniable. Like the CFO would feel like a silly goose saying no, because it's like, oh, take my money, right? That's the plan.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
Kel, at the beginning of we did our like predictions episode in January back in season one, and we talked about one of our predictions was like there's this rise of RevOps people becoming CROs. There was like a Harvard Business article on it that like it is a new profile for CROs, and I wonder if coupled with what you just said as like a strategy, if like that's going to further that, and we'll see a change in some of that tenure. I think that people aren't you have to have like the operational rigor to be a CRO these days. Like there's not just leads flowing in the door for most companies to just execute on.
Or partner with an incredible
Yeah.
RevOps leader, right? Like I don't necessarily think the average personality profile of a RevOps person. Well, first of all, we all ended up here. Nobody says, tell me more about this Salesforce admin thing. We usually find ourselves here, born out of socially inappropriate levels of curiosity and just like people pleasing and problem solving. Like we usually end up here. And I don't necessarily think that's the ideal personality profile for a CRO.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a CRO, I the profile I see of an extraordinary CRO, huge vision, hungry for feedback, actually take care of their pet canary in the coal mine. Like really, even if the RevOps rolls up to them, they see them as a sparring partner and like their secret weapon to their job security, right? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think that's the ideal duo. My new realization is RevOps should really have diplomatic immunity. I don't care who they're rolling up to, but they really need. We are the truth tellers. We're like the park rangers of the revenue engine, right? Our duty, our loyalty is being a steward of that revenue engine. And up until now, even when I was in house, I wouldn't say everything I saw because you displease the boss, and all of a sudden, like health insurance is tied to that. My rent payment, my rent money comes from that. Like you just don't have the luxury. So instead of serving the business, you're serving somebody's ego. And that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Points to landscape as is.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine with how spicy you are that is something that comes easily to you to serve someone.
Well, here's the thing. I pivoted to tech in 2016. I've had 6 jobs in tech. I've been fired from 3. And one of those 6 is my own company.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm super passionate about this. Yeah.
So I have so many thoughts here. One is, do any of us have an idea of why the CMO suddenly has more longevity than a CRO? What happened there?
I don't necessarily think the CMO has more stability. I think the CRO is just way more vulnerable.
Yeah. I think that I can see that. I think it's
a race to the bottom.
Totally. It's a race to the bottom. And I think there was a lot of finger pointing at marketing for a really long time. And now they just expect more from a CRO. And they don't expect just that you know how to do sales. They expect that you know how to partner with RevOps. They expect that you have an operational mindset. And not many CROs who have grown up in sales haven't had that experience. And so we're finding that.
Well, it was making hay all day, every day for about a decade. So they really hadn't been met with
It was
the
great
adversity.
for them.
It's really easy to think you're a badass at sales when it's like the money has been flowing like water, right? And you're just like slanging sass and making revenue goals and company retreats. The President's Club retreats, right? And you crush it at your first couple of roles, and then you're an unfailing god of sales, and all of a sudden you land somewhere and money's not flowing like it used to, right? All of a sudden margin is even invited into the conversation, and nobody's prepared. They're just not prepared. It's not their fault.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay, I'm going to switch topics just a little bit. I was talking to Beth Haskell, who introduced us, Jacki, and I think this is a topic you're going to be really passionate about. Her and I were talking about a couple situations where people have reached out to me, early stage startups, and are saying, hey, I need a head of RevOps. And then they start asking for people in my network, and then they start interviewing them, and they say, are they ready? And I'm like, pretty junior. I don't know. You're looking for a head of RevOps. And I think a lot of startups, especially that seed through series B, maybe C, probably B, want the really senior RevOps leader, but they can't afford them necessarily. And so they end up bringing these more junior individuals. And this is where I think companies like yourself and Fractional is such an amazing play, because it allows you to bring in a really senior person. And then if you want to hire some full-time people, you can bring in more junior individuals. Talk to me about Activate the Magic just a little bit, and just about your ideas on Fractional.
Yeah.
And why that's working so well in the startup space.
Yeah, you're going to have to actively cut me off because I can scream about this all day. So here's the thing. So I was laid off from Winning by Design, where that's where I met Beth. And the realization is that all the companies that I would have loved to work for and interview for, it would be financially irresponsible for them to hire me full time. And I would be bored. Let's face it. It would have been much more convenient if I liked RevOps at a CD much bigger scale. I don't. That's just not where I am. And so it just makes sense. Have access to world-class talent. And with Activate the Magic, we've got a whole agency, right? So whatever what you need just in time, when you need, like as much as you need, you can go up and down in package size month to month. We've got a guy for that. We'll bring him in, and it's very like agile, and we'll grow with you, and you don't have to worry about it. And how do you know someone's going to be good at RevOps?
Yeah. And your specific problem.
You don't.
Yeah. The company too. Like that match matters as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like At Link Squares, I was an accidental admin, and it ended up being a whole career path for me just at the time where RevOps was becoming a thing. I figured it out. We went from 350K ARR to 9 million, zero marketing, cold outbound, operationalized it, it worked out. But I wouldn't say, like, I was being paid 60K a year. Like, I would be in the office 7:15 to 8:15, but I wasn't actually getting anything done during that time. I was the emotional support animal for the sales team. Later nights and weekends is where I'd actually do the stuff, and I was learning on the job, right? It was at least 9 months in before I learned that there's a concept called a sandbox. Like, that's not okay.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
just because it worked doesn't make it okay.
Yeah. I remember early in my career, I was like similar, like the accidental admin, I was in like the sales ops role, but it was really just me. And I remember pulling my computer screen to my, I didn't have a home office back at the time. I had like a 1-bedroom apartment, and I pulled my computer screen to my coffee table, and I sat there and I wrote an entire like how to use our CRM I had just built from scratch with like no experience, like over a weekend. I just sat all weekend long, like building a document, because yeah, during the day, that's what your role is emotional support in those types of roles at those times.
Yeah, and if RevOps leaders at bigger companies, they'll say, be more strategic, set boundaries. No, it just doesn't work. Like, you have the luxury of adding friction. Are you kidding me? No. Not only was I removing friction and helping people with wireless headphones, I was making sure the snacks were okay. Like anywhere that I could defriction the sales reps world, I was all over. Don't recommend that as a career strategy. Did not end up working for that job. But yeah. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you're a founder or early stage sales leader, it's really tempting to be like, I got a buddy who can do that, or we've got a junior person, I'll just have them do it. That's fine for a little while. Like, I call it like your Google Sheets empire. But at the point where, if as a sales leader, that point where you're like, shoot, I actually don't know what's going on with all these deals. I used to know everybody in every element of every deal, and now there's deals on my pipeline that I don't even know are if they're qualified or what's going on. Like, that's the point where I'm 100% passionate. Like, get an agency. Yeah.
So you have this, I've heard, you have a Dear Jacki column.
I started that a couple of years ago and abandoned it. Apparently, running a business, what I've learned is my hobby of having hobbies really has to take a backseat.
Good tip.
Yeah. So I do get a lot of private DMs on Slack and LinkedIn and hop on a lot of coffee chats, right? A lot of coffee chats, because I really care. I care about the RevOps as a profession and the people. For me, career has been my like medium of self-expression. Like, musicians have pianos and I have my career, like, sort of thing. So happy to take it. But yeah.
So Jacki, I'm going to admit something to you because you just brought it up, our coffee chat. You said, I actually told Tiffany about this. She didn't even know it was you. I can't believe we're talking. Okay. So when I first met you, I was telling you, I was like, I do enablement, blah, blah, blah. And you go, sounds kind of squishy. And I was
You
like,
did tell me this. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
this is her. This is the person that told me. And I ruminated on that for probably 2 weeks and was like, freaking A, it's squishy. How do I make this not squishy? I needed that. It was the best advice I got. I needed someone to be like, what you're proposing, what you're saying is too squishy. And it reminded me that I came from this world where enablement was boss, because I was at HighSpot and everyone loved enablement. But most people don't understand or don't really capture what enablement can be in the right way. So I note here, just thank you for calling my business plan squishy, because you made me firm it up in a significant way.
And now you know why I've been fired from half of my jobs.
It's great. Like, look at where
It was great. I was like, hi, 10 minutes into meeting you. Yeah, that's really squishy. Good luck. And I was like, okay, well, I think I called Tiffany immediately after, and I was like,
I'm pretty sure we had a glass of wine, and it was like,
yeah, I was like, I got to rethink everything. But now it's going great, and I needed that push. So thank you for that.
Yeah. You're welcome, and I'm sorry. I can definitely level up in being more responsible with my
No, it
bombs.
was
Yeah.
exactly what I needed though.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
am like so appreciative. Like I remember you in the best way possible because
Yeah.
that is like the push I needed to be like, you got to firm up your talk track. You're clearly not ready to talk to people yet because you don't have a strong talk track, just like you do in sales.
I mean, besides being spicy with Kelly on a coffee chat, you're also pretty spicy on LinkedIn. You just had a post that got a lot of attention. You can't get fired from LinkedIn, so I feel like that's the place to go be spicy.
Yeah.
It's working out so well so far. Yeah. So should we talk about the post?
Do it.
Talk about the post.
So along the lines of what I've been talking about is we've been serving at the pleasure of the CRO, and now they don't have job security. And I ran across a stat where the CFO average tenure 7 years, CEO 5 years, CRO 18 months. And so I just asked the question, so tell me, who do you want backing up your RevOps initiatives? And I was not ready. I didn't realize that that was such a bomb, like a truth bomb. I mean, it was like seeing it in black and white, like, yeah, oh shoot, that's actually pretty visceral. And the comments coming out of it is actually really productive. And I think a lot of people assume that because I said that, I mean that RevOps should report into CFO. I don't know where RevOps should report into. All I know is, as is, your canaries are either singing and getting fired or just people pleasing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's such a good hot take because there is, I mean, like this has been my career. Like you're always in between, like the CFO, especially like I'm in the throes of annual planning, right? Like you're somewhere between like pleasing the CRO to your point and also pleasing the CFO and getting to like the right productivity numbers and your capacity plan and like what do your quotas look like and what does that buildup look like? And so it is important. It's always been important to kind of manage both, but it is very spicy and eye opening to say, like, which one are you, like, doesn't matter where you're reporting. I totally agree. But, like, which one should you be prioritizing?
Yeah, that buy-in. And another thing I'm proposing is every quarter you've got one big swing of an initiative. Try to take on too much and no, don't. One big swing. And 80% of your time should be of your kind of life force energy really dedicated to that big rock. This comes from theory of constraints, right? A system will grow and grow and grow until it's held back by something. And it won't, like, until you unblock that thing, you're stuck, right? And humans like to do what we're already good at. So chances are the key constraint of your revenue engine is not the thing that you like to do and you're already good at. No, you don't need another chat widget on your website. That sounds fun, but that's not. Yeah, it's actually the handoff between, usually is the handoff between sales and CS, right? So let's actually tackle that. And not only just tackle that, but let's really observe. Let's use the scientific method. Let's observe, okay, what is actually happening? Let's not assume. Let's talk to people. Let's get some data. Let's get some input, quantitative and qualitative. Be like, yeah, this actually is a pain. It's expensive and it's felt and it's holding us back. And let's come up with a hypothesis. This solution will cost this much. And my hypothesis, it will unlock this much revenue, give back this much time to our sellers, whatever it is, and actually present that cold, hard ROI payback period, right, to the CFO. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, bet, take my money. And the reason you really only want to do one a quarter is people really underestimate change management and the cost. So anytime you change something, just assume it's going to be a 20% hit to your revenue, like temporary, but like 20% hit revenue, productivity, moods, your PR score,
Totally.
your mental health, and anything you leave alone, assume it's going to have a 5 to 10% uplift because humans just get better because we're lazy, right? We get better and more efficient at the things that we do again and again. So any initiative that you want to do, you better be damn sure that this is what's going to unlock us, and it's going to have to cover that 30 to 35% spread right? It's got to make such an outsized impact that it's not just worth it if you crunch the numbers, but it's worth it if this is the thing that's going to get us on block.
Okay, spicy take question, maybe. Why wouldn't you just do more change at once then? If it's so hard on individuals, why not like just pull all that pain into one period and then come out as a rocket ship?
Yeah, so this is going to be my answer is a combo between theory of constraints and the winning by design revenue growth architecture methodology, right? The principles first principles, mathematics, like the mathematics of recurring revenue. The winning by design bow tie has 7 spots. I have simplified it for early stage, just 3: acquisition, conversion, and expansion. If you're going to make a lot of changes, that you're throwing wrenches all over the system. So if it works, if it doesn't work, you actually don't know what worked, if it worked, what hurt it. Because once you solve for that key constraint, the entire system unlocks, and then you have a whole new key constraint. And then you tackle that. And you can't exactly predict what that next kink in the hose is going to be. Because there's some, like, even if you're changing this stuff over here in CS, it can like have a quantum leap back over to marketing, right? Like you're going to get an insight, something's going to shift, and like all of a sudden things kind of, it's a system, it's its own system, right? And you really need to isolate the thing, solve that, stand back and observe again, and now what's the constraint, and solve for that. And that as like I suggest a quarterly rhythm, like the kind of heartbeat of elevation of for the revenue engine.
Okay, I can buy that. I mean, as like a human that does these things, quarterly sounds great. As like a leader that I serve, like all at once is what the ask always is.
Exactly. And that's why I really want diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
And it's so crucial to be like, yeah, I know I'm saying no to a lot right now. And it's actually to do this. And here, this is the outcome that we actually want. And to put it delicately, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some shit stays fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in early stage. I just say chaos is the glitter of growth. You show me a clean GTM, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, okay, yeah, they're growing. Sure. No. Like there are, and for RevOps people, I need you to know, you should have dumpster fires everywhere. Because if you don't, you have over-engineered, you have built the Sim City before your residents moved in.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Like, what are you playing, Age of Empire or whatever? Like, no, like let the constraints show themselves. Let the pain emerge and bubble and be felt, because only then can you actually address it. And listen, could we update our website to like, so the conversion is a little bit better? Yeah, absolutely. Is that actually what's stopping our growth? No, not worth it. Not worth the 20% hit and the dedication of time and energy for an incremental thing that's not going to move the needle.
I like that. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit because
you don't want to talk about theory of constraints for a whole hour?
I do, but I don't.
You're so squishy.
I hear you.
It's getting squishy.
Yeah.
No, it's getting a little too technical for my enablement.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
True it all.
I'm great at dinner parties, I promise.
So we are recording this episode on September 19th. It might not air for a while, but it is the week of Sculpt, which is Clay's big conference. Jacki, you talk about Clay a lot. I had actually knew nothing about Clay until you hosted a webinar a few weeks ago that I attended. I learned a lot.
A Clay down?
Yes, a Clay down.
Nice.
Since we have to talk about AI, it can't be an episode without AI.
Compulsory.
Yeah. Talk to me about how Clay or any of the tools you think are game changing what you're doing and how you're maybe allocating resources differently with technology. Like
go-to-market engineering and all that AI, all that, like that sort of theme that's emerging, it's part of RevOps. It's not different. It's not our competitor. It's just the thing that we've been doing now has a lot more capabilities behind it, right? So I think how I'm looking at it is, holy cow, this is really reshaping how I think about how to do RevOps and questioning the assumptions of, well, we need an outbound sequence, do we? I don't know. Let's go back. Let's not assume that a thing that we do that is a best practice is sacred, right? Let's figure out what works, then try to repeat it, then sort of codify, operationalize it. That's how outbound sequencing came to be, but people forget that there was a travel through the unknown before it was codified. We have to go back to the Louisiana Purchase.
Some deep first principles problem solving we're doing here right now.
Yeah. Like, what is actually the problem to be solved? And if I was an alien dropped down and didn't know that, don't you know you need outreach? Don't you know it's either outreach or Apollo, or engage or sales? Like, don't you know? I might look at it totally differently.
I really hope we get some aliens in our go-to-market space soon. Really shake things up.
Me too. I, for one, welcome them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I think we're hitting the point in the episode where we ask you to leave the listener with a question, and Tiffany and I with a question. What should we go ask ourselves later today to help us change our perspective and create a point of view?
It better be spicy. I expect nothing but spicy.
Okay. It's an assignment.
Okay. Well, I'll take an assignment.
Great. We got homework.
If you so choose, if you choose into this assignment, center yourself. It's Friday right now, so I think a Friday afternoon is actually a really great time to do this. So get your cocktail or take your gummy or whatever it is and look at your Google Calendar. What are the recurring meetings? Actually take a look. What is part of your existence that is serving someone's approval and not the business?
That's a tough one.
And I'm not saying you got to delete them and I'm just saying, get super clear on why this hour long of your life, 52 hours a year, is dedicated to this specific huddle or meeting or sync or whatever it is. Is this truly serving the business, or is it serving somebody's approval of you, their ego, their
Ooh, that's a deep one.
yeah,
based on how Tiffany and I
faces
Yeah.
just our constant conversations about how we're drowning in life right now, it should be a good exercise for both of us and probably most of our listeners.
Yeah.
That you didn't ask me to look at my calendar and question how many meetings I have, because that's just chaos at this point.
That's the glitter of growth, Tiffany.
That's the glitter of growth. I'm going to take that, and that's going to be deeply seated in my ethos going forward. But I think that's a really reasonable. I have a lot of one-on-ones on my calendar, and it sounds like you do too, like coffee chats, and which one of those am I truly serving the business by growing individuals or making connections, and which ones am I just serving somebody because I think I need to have face with them, I need to please them, I need them to see what I'm doing.
I need my weekly checkbox from them.
Yeah. Okay.
Deep thoughts. That was good.
Yeah.
We like that. Oh, we like that. Well, Jacki, this was great. If people are looking to find you, obviously they should find you on LinkedIn and follow you because you're
Jacki
amazing.
with an I. Jacki Leahy.
Yeah, Jacki with an I. Also, look at the comments because the comments in your posts are just unhinged and amazing. Anywhere else they should go to find you?
Probably any conference.
Okay. Great.
I'm going to as many conferences as I can because just the ideas and the innovation and that all of that input is just so crucial right now with what's all the pace. Yeah. I'll be at Dreamforce. I'll be at GTM. I'll be at Mopsapalooza.
I'm trying to get to go to market next week. I'm still balancing my calendar, but I know there's a couple open spots. So maybe I'll see you there next week.
It is so good. It's so good. Yeah.
Okay. So, and of course, if you are a startup working for a startup, you need amazing RevOps support. You heard our theory on how you should hire for RevOps at this point. Reach out to Activate the Magic.
Yeah.
She has amazing customers that have been, and you're growing significantly. So I love it.
Yeah. Activatethemagic.com.
Perfect.
Thank
Great.
you so much, Jacki.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you. So fun.
Thanks, everyone.